going back to the age of 4, pretty much growing accustomed to the idea of living with the paranormal because I just accept it's part of an extension of our humanity and who we are. And also there's so many people that can accept ghosts and that, and many of them don't believe in God, which to me I find a bit conundrum, but that's me. Anyway, I've had experiences starting when I was 4, which that was when I saw a strange family in my parents' front room. When I was about 4 years old, what happened was I got up because I heard I saw the light on in the front room, and my parents' room was opposite mine and my brother's. And I got up because I wanted to get a drink, so naturally I thought my mom and dad were up. So I went in the front room, and there was this woman, and her daughter, which is about my age, and this man. And the man, he appeared dark, and the woman and her child, they were blonde, and they both had these white garments on. But at 4 years old, you don't really think anything about fashion or anything like that, because you just see these people. To me, that's all they were people. So they said they knew who I was, they knew my name, which I didn't know who these people were. And they said they were waiting for my dad. Well, naturally at 4 years old, I couldn't understand why, because my mom and dad are married, I don't even know what time of night this was. Obviously my parents had already gone to bed, which I do know. So anyway, the woman said to me, she said, "Rachel, go back to bed. I'm waiting for your dad. Go back to bed now." Well, obviously, I got a little bit upset because the little girl, who was roughly my age, the woman, when I said to her, why doesn't she have to go to bed? Well, I didn't get an answer or anything, but the thing I couldn't work out was why they were insistent on seeing my dad. Well then, next thing I know, as my dad comes down the hallway, and he's standing there, all of a sudden the room goes black, right? Everything goes black. My dad asked me, he said, "Who were you talking to?" And I said, "Those people, they were waiting to speak to you." And that was the first real experience I had, and who they were and why they wanted my dad, I don't know. But the strange thing was, it still stays in my mind today, because I can remember the room suddenly being all lit up and then suddenly going dark. It just, when that happens at 4, you don't know what to think. And my parents at the time just put it down to my imagination, and it wasn't. And there was other series of paranormal events that occurred when I was 4, and I've had them ever since. I've been able to capture EVPs and unusual photographs, managed to photograph UFOs, and sense them sometimes when they're about. And I don't know if it's because I'm so used to these experiences that they have essentially become the norm for me, that I am able to have be able to produce regular, in other words, it's not difficult for me to capture the paranormal. It's almost like I'm a magnet, as it were, because I don't know if it's because I easily accept it because of my experiences. I mean, at first, when you're growing up and people tell you it's your imagination, or you experience things you don't understand, and you're frightened to speak to anybody about it because you're frightened they're going to call you crazy. And when it's like that, the paranormal world can be a bit frightening, because it's not so much the paranormal world itself that's frightening, it's reaction from people, how they react to your experiences. Some people are becoming more open and accepting now than what they used to be. But I think that's because of the amount of evidence that's coming out in the open. But when I was younger, if you mention anything about the paranormal, people would look at you and think, what are you talking about? And they think you're a bit tipped for speaking about such a matter. But I don't mind. I've even gone so far as to doing my own website, which I've submitted the photographs that I've taken, and they're all genuine. Every video I submit is genuine. Everything I submit to you is genuine. It's never, I wouldn't hoax anything, because a paranormal experience I had involving my granddad, who was very dear to me when he was alive. That's another reason I take the paranormal very seriously, because that experience I had concerning my granddad, that was, let's just say it still holds a special place in my heart. And as a matter of fact, last night I had a dream about my granddad again in relation to something else, and I just think that paranormal world is something that we haven't explored enough. And I think if we explore it and learn to understand it, we can find answers to why these things are happening, and just sort of learn how to properly interact with it. And just because you got to be careful, because there's good and bad in the paranormal realm and other dimensions. You got to be careful in that, because the same as in this realm, in the physical world, you got good and bad. So that's just a start.